I maneuver like I got a clone. I'm out here in these streets like I ain't got a home. And you barely hear from me like I ain't got a phone. Because there's no days off, there's no days off. I know it sounds a little painful, but it pays off. Social sites was distracting, so I stayed off. Spoke to God that me and Satan had a face off. I swear my life was like a rocket, then it takes off. First I plotted, then I...
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll have scores around the league for you.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Hang in there now, hang in there now. Hey, go. Ladies!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Throwing now is Wentz. Now at the starting 11 on defense for Dallas. And they're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And when you see a ranking like number 4 in the league against the pass, that's a testament to both their defensive coordinator and the general manager that crafted this unit, and now they're out executing.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Randy Gregory in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. That's taken on the 25. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Here we go. Go. Get out there.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Finding some room at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. With a lot of the media, Charles, ourselves included, starting to prep those MVP ballots, you wonder if last week's performance, which he admitted was not very good, if that hurt him at all coming down the stretch.
Less than 50 yards on the ground in last week's game that you referenced, and let's face it, if he has another game like that, we'll erase him from the MVP discussion. He won't even be talked about.
Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And a long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Wentz to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And out now come the Cowboys. We do know that they are postseason bound, but they're leaking a little oil, so to speak, as they kind of limp into January.
Yeah, and that oil can set fire to their season, can't it?
Look at that.
See what I did there? But here's the thing that we've both seen in the NFL. Teams down the stretch playing really well. Sometimes it doesn't carry over into the playoffs. Sometimes teams that aren't playing well now, if they have good leadership at the head coaching spot and the coaching staff and within the locker room, they can find a way to turn it around. But no one wants to be on the losing streak as they head into the playoffs.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Give him 30 yards there. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now Marshall. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Keith Marshall, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And here's Marshall. Oh, nice move at midfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Keith Marshall, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Demarcus Lawrence in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And pressure gets to him again. Demarcus Lawrence able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not...
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. He told us he was going to hit the end zone a couple times in this game. I just don't know that he envisioned doing it in the 1st quarter.
He probably did. I'm not sure we did, yeah. Right? Because all the great ones, that's what they do. They dream about it, right? They think about it. They envision it. They think it's going to happen and almost will themselves into it. I just look at what he's done so far and just wonder what's left to come. Let's sit back and enjoy this one.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit him over the top. And
they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. And they'll go on the ground. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Wentz going to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Demarcus Lawrence in there for a big milestone in this game. Sack number 198 of his career, tying him with Hall of Famer Reggie White for 2nd place all time.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And you can see by the X next to their name, they have clinched the NFC East already. For the moment, though, they would host a wild card game in round 1, Charles.
And for me, it brings back memories of how tough it is to win this division, because when I was a kid, there used to be a thing called the NFC Central that was known as the black and blue division. Everyone called it that because of how hard it was to win it. I think that's been transposed into the NFC East. I mean, trying to win that division, being able to get there, it's quite an accomplishment.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. And he finds a man with a crossing route.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. A first down throw for Prescott. Flushed out right. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here we go, 47, 47. 26. 26.
Now Prescott. He's got his man on the crossing route. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Keith Marshall with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big...
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Cowboys add on.
As you know, I love the players of the past, but the players of the present and their mobility to move around and play quarterback, we just saw the end result of a guy that can shake it and find a guy open downfield.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The first catch for Jeffrey. Good enough for a first down. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll run it here. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run and back.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Prescott rolling to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. That was close to a big play, and just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
On 3rd down, Elliott. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
Hey, Sway! There we go. Wide 8. 26.
On fourth, they do snap it to Prescott, eluding the pressure right. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on third down plays, but when you go for it on fourth down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Give him 30 yards there.
47, 47.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On second down, Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Let's go. Let's go.
On third down, it's Elliott. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
46. 26.
Prescott on first down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Prescott. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Now they try the right side here. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there. You see these nice, explosive, strong runs.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
We're going to 54. Why?
To throw is Prescott. Buying time to his left. And he's going to go down again. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Here we go, 46. We're going to 54. Why? Check 3. 47. 26.
Now Prescott. Flush to his right. And he gets it down to the 32. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. They'll run it with Elliott. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott ties LT with his 31st touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good pickup there at 22.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Come on now.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Randy Gregory in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. "35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And give him a gain of 37. First down, Prescott sliding out of the pocket, letting one go deep for the, and that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season, and the Cowboys add on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Now Wentz. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there yet again. My goodness, make it 5 sacks for him now in this one game alone.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
47, 46.
Prescott now on second down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
Hey, here we go. Wide, ain't it?
On third down, it's Elliott. Dances by at the 20, and they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
He'll buy some time right. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And out now come the Eagles. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Here's Ryan Allen now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is brought in at the 21. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key to left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Open space inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Keith Marshall with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Cowboys add on. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Demarcus Lawrence with a sack many years in the making, as he has now broken the all-time career sacks record, surpassing the mark set by Hall of Famer Bruce Smith at 200. On third and long, it's Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Demarcus Lawrence in there yet again. They can't block him, and now with 8 sacks, he has set a new single-game record. And it's fielded at the 34. So a change of possession here on the punt. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold it a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
That goes for a gain of 31. From the red zone now, Prescott. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field with this.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Demarcus Lawrence in there yet again. They can't block him, and now with 8 sacks, he has set a new single-game record.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Demarcus Lawrence in there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both first and second down. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That's pulled in at the 32. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. Hard to call this guy a game manager, but that's really all he's needed to do. The running game, fantastic.
And they've actually put themselves in a spot where they're able to close the game out, doing what you would want to do in this situation anyway, run the football. But they don't have to ramp up into it. They're already there. They've been establishing it the entire game.
Now they can keep that running theme and get into the locker room with a win. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers, certain course.
And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's to the 10. This will be caught inside the 10. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
He got 29 yards that time. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They go to Elliott again. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it? Yeah. This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
They're all through now in that game in Tampa. And it was the Bucs coming away victorious there. Jameis Winston, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. That'll be taken in the end zone.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Caught right side. It's Jeffrey. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete.